1040.
This is Will for Brimley. And don't forget, loafing dog won't give you diabetes.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logo designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and would be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
You're listening to JOBSEEKER Community Radio.
All right. You guys know what time it is? Look at who I've got with me this morning. Yeah, welcome to the Jobfather, Job Seeker Network Radio. We're streaming all over the country. And of course, check us out on LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live. Tiffany's got us. Twitter, I know. Tiffany Carlin Hurd, we love you and we appreciate you being our brains behind the whole outfit. And so we are here, guys, every Friday at this time, 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. And I've got my co-host with the most, Gingerich, with me.
Hey,
guys, Dana has been a recruiter for a long time. Dana is now with Galderma through Korn Ferry. Oh, Korn Ferry. I see a Loretta Barr.
Hey, Loretta. Good to meet you.
And then we got my longtime buddy Steve Ackley with us this morning.
It's
Steve and I've been buddies for a while, and you know, Steve has got his fingers wet in recruiting. He's been a cybersecurity person. We're going to talk to Steve at 11:30. He's going to be our guy. for our job seeker spotlight, because I want you companies to know about Steve.
Yes.
So, but Steve's going to chime in with us as we talk. We get the show started every week with a prayer. So, guys, if you would give God just a minute or 30 seconds, maybe. We'll see how long this goes. Father God, we thank you for another day. And we thank you for the opportunity to reach people like we're doing right now. The people that are riding around in their cars listening, keep them safe with traveling grace on the road. We are examining job search, and thank you for the people that you provide for us to help us do that in different various segments. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Foster.
Oh, absolutely. So, guys, our first guest is from my old company, Korn Ferry. She is a leadership development expert. You know what, guys? Loretta has worked at companies like American Airlines. She's with Korn right now. And you guys, a lot of people know who Korn is. We're going to talk about Korn a little bit and let everybody know who they are. And I'll leave that to Loretta since she's there now. It was years ago when I was there, and had a good run, had a good time. I see our buddy Rose, Meg Rose. I started with Rose. Meg Rose Caterio's with us. She is known as Mez. Good morning, Mez. Thanks for being with us. And again, thank you, Tiffany. So let's go. So
Let's
Loretta
do
Barr
this, Foster. It's a happy Friday here for the Jobfather radio show, and we're so excited to have you, Steve and Loretta. We really are. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Since we're starting the weekend, right?
Here's my business glasses. All right.
Let me see if I get my
serious glasses.
If I get my picture is kind of fading out there. That's my fault. Okay. All right. Loretta, if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about you and Korn Ferry.
Okay. Well, I have been with Korn Ferry now officially since November of last year, but unofficially, I was a contractor with them since October of 2020. And loved doing the work that I do. I am a job coach and executive coach. So I get to help people on a one-to-one basis, realize their dreams, realize their career goals, and sometimes just even find a job or find the right type of job. So I'm all around doing a lot of things like that, and I just absolutely enjoy it.
That's awesome, Loretta. And Korn Ferry is a great company. I will tell you.
It is.
My first month and a half into working for them. Wow. Yes. I'm excited to hear more about what you do behind the scenes. So it sounds like you're an advocate for the employees within the organization to help them grow and achieve their dreams within the organization.
Well, one of the things we do is because I'm part of the delivery side. So my main job is coaching, but we do have an internal program that I'm a part of where we're coaching our emerging talent. So that's one-on-one. There is a program called Leadership Youth for Humanity, where we partner with other foundations and companies where they coach or have us as coaches for those who are from underrepresented groups. So that's where I get a chance to interact with people all over the country from different jobs. I get to see all of the things that they're interested in. So it's been fantastic. And then we have our clients through Korn Ferry that we work with who are trying to get their organizations some additional coaching. So it's been just a wonderful ride. I love the fact that no 2 days are the same. I love the fact that I get to work remotely 100%.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. As everyone who knows me knows, my favorite thing about is I don't have to wear shoes. So
that's great. I don't have to wear pants, just my shoes.
I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody. Wow.
Steve's like, oh, no, here we go.
Wow.
Oh,
no. Yeah. I'll just stop at the shoes.
Yeah.
You know, our world has changed tremendously, hasn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely. And Loretta, I've known you for quite some time now.
Yes.
And
yes.
And thank you for not firing me as a friend.
You've gone through 2 jobs with me because when I met you, Foster, I had just left Alliance Data. They had some layoffs there. And so I was between jobs. And when I'm between jobs, I do consulting, I do training and learning and development and leadership development work. And so I was working on some projects, but I wanted to land in something full time. And I went to the Who You Know show and the functions that you had. And that's when you used to meet out there at the Star Center. And so, and then I think I met with you when you were working at one of the churches too. I went to those networking functions.
Frisco Connect, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I've been sending people there. And then I went to American Airlines. That was kind of the last company before I switched out. They had some organizational changes. And so I came back to the network. And just around then, that's when things went into the lockdown mode. Once it went into lockdown mode, it was really good that we had a virtual session. So I got to attend a lot of your sessions, the human resources group. I even jumped into the project management group. I tried my hand at a little recruiting. I have tremendous respect for recruiters because it was not my skill set. And that's when I went into coaching full time and landed with Korn Ferry as a contractor, and then eventually transitioned over to full time.
There was a time I thought that most people could be taught to be a recruiter, and the more experience I got being a recruiter, I started to see that I was wrong on that deal.
Yes.
And if it's one person that I know that I would love to see continue being a recruiter is my buddy Steve Ackley over there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Some people.
It's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
No.
The tangible part of it can be taught, but the intangible part of it has to come from who God made you. So
that's so true.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what? With that, Foster, I have to say something real quick.
I
got a lot of N's on my report card in elementary school, not for my grades, not for my intelligence, because I talk too much. And that means I was meant to be a recruiter, right? Right?
Yes.
And on a radio show, because I like to talk.
My mother taught me in 5th grade. Of course, I was the one. She was infamous for the paddle with the holes in it.
Oh, that's the worst. I got that too.
Oh my God. She tested that thing out on guess who? Right in front of the class for talking too much.
Yeah. My mom did the same with me. I still get spanked for talking about it. No, I'm kidding.
Dana and I are a good team. You ought to see us.
You are.
We, outside of the show, we do things together. We've known each other forever anyway. And you know what? I met Dana really about the time that I met Steve, I think. It's been a while now.
And honestly, the man himself, Steve, is the reason, God used Steve to get me doing some public speaking. I met Steve at Careers in Motion. He immediately identified me as someone that could help people. So he started giving me opportunities to speak with James Reed and different events that the two of them did together. And I met Foster, and the rest is history. So see how God uses all of us? God is good. God is good.
Once we really look at this thing, we can see that someone orchestrated this thing. It wasn't us, but he put us together. And then we're like, hey, this thing works wonderfully. We have fun because somebody made us and knew to put us together.
Absolutely.
Anyway, enough about that. So Loretta, tell us some things that you think job seekers should know. You for, I'm not going to say how long, but for a long time.
I'm old. I know I'm old.
Exactly.
Glad to be old too.
I'm saying it's really fun getting older.
Yes.
Now Loretta and I are not old yet, but we're getting older and we're learning more. And I guess I could throw Steve and Dana in that conversation too. So Loretta, you have coached a number of people I know have coached with you or gotten advice from you.
Yes.
Tell us a couple of things that you see job seekers doing right now? You know, because it looks different now. It does.
It does.
I'm talking with my hands here.
Yes.
Maybe I have some Italian in me. I don't know. But tell us some things that you have noticed that you probably coach job seekers to be a little bit more, you know, whatever it is to help them in this environment, because pre-COVID, it looked quite a bit different.
Yes, it did. And the job market is really very, very hot right now still, but people have to organize their approach. And so one of the things that I do in the first session that I have with them is I have them to kind of really hone down in on what they, not only what they want to do, but also to begin building their personal brand. And I have a very, very simple approach with personal branding. I have them just take, and I ask them, I say, what if you had to describe yourself in 5 positive words, what would they be? And then I would say, also, now ask friends and people who love and respect you, what 5 positive words would they use for you? And I always give them an out. I say, if they look at you funny and think that, why are you asking me this? I said, throw your butt. I said, you have my permission to throw me under the bus. Just say your goofy coach asked you to do that. Because what I want them to do is to start seeing who they are and sometimes seeing whose they are. Because in that journey that you're going to be on as a job seeker, you're going to have some days where it's up, you're going to have some days where it's down, and you need to have some reinforcement of knowing that, I am an innovative person, or yes, I am someone who's really very well organized. I am a friendly person, because you're going to hit some walls there. So I want them to be ready for that. I also have them, the second thing I have them do is to create a list of things in that next job. What are the things that I must have? What are the things that are some nice to haves? And what are some deal breakers? Because sometimes people can get so desperate that they'll take the first thing coming, and that's okay because you got to pay bills.
Yeah.
Get a new job and you go, I am not happy. I don't know why I'm not happy. It pays really well. Then you kind of need to kick back and think about, well, what were your values? What is it that this job is not fulfilling that you really wanted? And if you've already defined that list, when you're getting, all of these different offers or all of these chances to interview, you have a clearer view on what you're looking for in that next job.
That's really good. Now, Loretta, when you were talking about that, it instantly reminded me of the Strength Finders assessment. Or what other assessments do you endorse? Do you endorse them? All of that sort of thing. Tell us a little bit about that.
We have several that we use within Korn Ferry. One is called the Career Growth Report. And that's really a nice way of saying your traits. And this is kind of those natural tendencies that are hardwired in you. But I'm also experienced with, not certified, but experienced with Myers-Briggs, DISC, and used the Strength Finder. I've also gotten certified, and this was at American Airlines. I got certified in Emergenetics, which is kind of a neural.
That's a neural.
What is it again?
Emergenetics.
Emergenetics.
It's how you think, it's your thinking styles as well as your behaviors.
Because, Steve, I'm going to need you to get that certification.
Yes. It's fun. It's fun. And it was what a lot of the leaders at American Airlines used. And we used to roll it out to a lot of the departments. But it was a way of getting people to work together better. But it's very, very similar in my opinion, it's very, very similar to Myers-Briggs. So if you're comfortable with Myers-Briggs and know a lot about that and personality types, Emergenetics kind of fits in real well with it and DISC and a lot of those other tools.
Okay, good to know. I just hadn't heard of Emergenetics before.
It's
not. There's a bunch of them out there.
Yes. So it is just one of those things. And once I can get people to settle down, because we usually meet more than once.
Honestly,
once you settle down and realize, okay, I need to take some intentional steps in choosing the career I want to be in, then it helps them to organize their approach. I also, and I got this suggestion from you, Foster, make sure they put their Strength Finder results on their LinkedIn profile.
Good point.
Yes. Yes.
And that's awesome. I don't have to ask that question.
Yes, I make sure of that. And I also tell them in their about section, that's their elevator pitch. And to make it like an elevator pitch. If someone asks you, oh, tell me a little bit about yourself, that about section in the LinkedIn profile ought to be first person. It ought to be like you're having a conversation with someone, and add a little humor in there. I mean, I have one line in my about section that says, my superpower is being an introvert. So a little bit of something that'll just kind of open the door. Yes.
Loretta, you are an introvert, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something that you will not be able to buy this one. But you know what? Why in the world is Foster saying that? The formative years of my life, probably the first 20 years of my life, I know you guys don't believe that I'm over 20, but I am.
21.
21. I was an introvert.
I think that's divine intervention.
It's still in there. I promise you. Because my life is full of people. I love it that way. I operate wonderful that way. But there comes that time where Foster's got to back up and be that introvert. And I do that well.
Yes.
Especially
Guess what? I'm an introvert.
Yeah.
You know, that's just if Dana were to tell me that she's an introvert, I could actually believe that.
No, it's how you got to recharge. People who because introversion is not about being shy or being outgoing. It's about how you derive energy. And an introvert can be as loud and as crazy, but at some point in the day, they've got to pull away and they've got to be quiet because that's how they recharge their batteries.
You know, isn't that the truth? And you never hear that. You never hear that description very often. So guys, take note of that. Take note of that. Mez is with us. And of course, we're talking about strength finders, and Mez and I both are woos. And so, you know, that incorporates a lot. I know you guys believe that Foster's a woo. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Foster's a woo.
He's a woo. I believe that.
Well, you know, I do have to recharge. I mean, I do. I go 90 to nothing.
Yeah,
and then I need at least 1 or 2 days a week where I don't mess on my phone. Well, I'll play games or look at social media, but I don't want to be on the phone with anyone. I just want me and my dog to hang out, watch movies. Yeah. So, but I don't consider myself an introvert. I'm like wheels off on the other end of the spectrum. I mean, I can talk to brick walls and take them to bars, and they talk too, you know?
Well, Steve, one of the things about Myers-Briggs is that it goes through a scale. So you can be way on the far end, and I'm on the far end of introversion. But the closer you are to the center, the easier it is for you to go over to the extroverted side or stay on the introverted side. So you really need to take the assessment to kind of see where you fall out. And plus, there are other preferences there that impact that as well. Because I'm an intuitive thinker. And I'm also a P, so I'm an INTP. So I am an intuitive thinker. And I perceive, which means how I organize information, which a lot of those of us who are Ps, we're not real organized in terms of things around us. That's why you see a room divider, because I got books and books.
I like that room divider back there.
Yeah, it comes in handy when I can't put a virtual background on. Because
I like it too. Very crafty.
I got books, and I got lots of books. So, and they're not in any kind of really nice, pristine order. So,
yeah. Well, I would say I'm definitely on the further end of extrovert. I mean, I'll be going to the mailbox and I'll see a squirrel and I'll just be like, "What's up, Joe?" And he'll literally stop and look at me like, "You talking to me?" I'm like, "What's up?" And, you know, it's funny to try it sometime. Next time you see a squirrel by, you just talk to him, give him a name, and So I'll talk
No, I'm just watching to make sure. I'm watching to make sure they don't try to get in my house and somewhere. So
I'm like, come on in. I got some peanuts in the cabinet.
That's Dana now. Dana's very inviting. Loretta, I want to pick your brain a little bit. I want to hear what you have to say about things like this. Given that you're an introvert, so you know, you and I we've walked into rooms a little bit more pre-COVID than the middle of COVID, but we walk in a room. What is going on? We're networking, and there's a lot of people in the room. What is going on in Loretta's brain at that time?
That is one of the more stressful things for me. And so I can relate to the people I coach who are very, very nervous about, and I have a trick about networking. I pull a little trick when I go into big groups. If I'm not presenting or working in some way, I go and stand near wherever the food is.
Oh,
because I know everybody's going to come by the food. No matter what kind of stringent diet, they may just come by and look at it and then go away. And that's a way to strike up a conversation.
But everybody's going to come by there, aren't they?
They are going to come by the food. The extroverts will look at the food and they'll look at me and they'll start a conversation. So, and if they are really a friendly extrovert, they're not only going to start a conversation, they're going to say, oh, have you met? So for me, that's kind of my cheat when I go into a networking event, and it's something that, is just totally foreign to me. I don't know anybody there. It's just I'm going. That's one of the things. And so I always suggest that to people that I coach who I know might be a little nervous about going out and networking with people. Now, online, I'm comfortable because that's in my zone.
Yeah.
But in a group of people, pre-COVID, group of people, I don't know anybody there, don't recognize anyone. That's when I'm going to try to gravitate to wherever the food is, because I know everybody's going to eventually be
Everybody's
there.
Coming through.
So that's a little trick that I use and tell people to use when they're introvert. Doesn't mean you need to hang out and eat up everything, but you can just hang near it because everybody's going to be there.
That's right.
Everybody is going to be there. And now, listeners, you guys are understanding why Loretta is with us today and why I follow around behind Loretta, because, I learn a lot. I pick up my things from you guys, and all of a sudden you guys are calling me the Jobfather, and I'm nothing but a copycat.
You're still the Jobfather, Foster. You're legendary.
I go with that one. I like that one. That is one nickname that I got that I
legendary?
enjoy. You usually get those nicknames that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Stop calling me that.
Yeah.
So, Loretta, what would you say as we're getting close to time? We'll talk, and then when we hear music, we'll have to go to a commercial break.
Right.
But
got 2 minutes.
Loretta, what kind of mistakes are you seeing job seekers make in this day and time?
Well, one thing is not to, first of all, not to have enough connections on LinkedIn. The next thing is not to do informational interviewing. And then also, because you need to get out and find out who's doing what and where they're doing it. The other thing is only doing a few jobs and then sitting back and waiting on them to come to you. And I always tell them, get yourself a rhythm going. Yeah, you don't have to you don't have to apply for a job every day, but set aside some time, do 5 jobs, and then the next week do 5 jobs. That gives you time to follow up during the week, but get yourself a rhythm and then keep track of who's calling you back. Don't be afraid to update that resume and tweak it. Don't be afraid to adjust it. If it's not working for you, then tweak it some more. But you got to have a nice little rhythm going. 5 jobs a week. I tend to tell people to do it either Friday night or Sunday night, because if a recruiter sees it, if it bubbles up on LinkedIn and they love it, they're going to contact you right away. I've seen some people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're going to get a call the same day sometimes that they apply. If it bubbles up just right, to make sure the right keywords are in that resume, to make sure that they are tapping into their skills and giving a nice summary and not just telling me what your responsibilities were.
Very good.
There's one thing that I can tell you: a third-party recruiter, including Korn Ferry, third-party recruiter is going to call you real quick, because we got to get to you before somebody else does.
Yeah,
so guys, make sure and put that contact information. We've got 1 minute. Thank you, Tiffany.
Yes.
And you know what? We got to get to you before somebody else gets to you, so we can talk about that client. We may not be exclusive. Well, now at Korn Ferry, a lot of times, we work with our clients. I'm still saying exclusively. And so we're still going to get to you very quickly, because we want to talk to you before somebody else gets to you.
Absolutely. And it's really, really, really competitive right now. So then I also tell them, make sure you put just an email address, a cell phone, and your LinkedIn URL. If you got all of that there,
Yeah.
then you've got enough information for that recruiter to get in contact with you and be ready for it.
And guys, if you're in a hurry, you're going to make mistakes. I'm here to tell you. Too much frantic activity is too bad either. I hear music, guys. It's time for us to go. We're going to come back with Steve Ackley.
Woo!
And you know what?
Steve right down there.
I want you companies to understand.
You want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right. Call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
Got a deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson, Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Todd Lewinsky. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-in, and all your catering needs.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Well, guess who's back? It's time for more and more Dana and Foster, more Jobfather. And let me tell you guys a little bit about Joco. I'm always proud that God crossed my path with Tiffany Carlin and Joco Community Radio. Let me tell you something. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, guys. And it's live on 365 on TuneIn Radio Network. Check out that TuneIn Radio Network, guys. To listen or watch, simply go to tuneinjoco.com. That's TUNEINJOCO.com to choose where and how you're going to listen to it. The Joco Community Radio app is now available for free on Android and iOS devices. Simply search your store. Check out our lineup and more on JocoCommunityRadio.com. Let me tell you that again. Joco, J-O-C-O, CommunityRadio.com. All together, all that together. This episode and more are brought to you by Patriot Claims, guys. Making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep. She is my buddy, Nona Reed. N-O-N-A Reed. You guys can spell Reed. Now, let me give you her phone number, 844-839-4245. Once again, Nona Reed, guys, at 844-839-4245. She's with Patriot Claims, and she'll make your insurance work for you. Go through all the insurance stuff. Make sure we got the right stuff. All right. Now, I am blessed to be able to introduce Steve Ackley. Watch him smile. See there? Look there's Steve.
It's Steve, the one and only master networker.
That's right.
Steve
Our buddy Steve,
Ackley
guys, yeah.
recruiter extraordinaire.
Absolutely. And you know, Steve has got a cybersecurity background as well, guys.
Yeah.
So as we talk with Steve and Steve's going to tell you about Steve. And I think, in fact, I know, let me get close. I know you companies need to call Steve and talk to him. You got to do it. Come on,
I
son.
agree.
There you go,
agree.
Dana.
Come
There
on,
you
Donna.
go. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about you, what you've been doing lately, what your interest lies, all of that stuff.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me on. I am very nervous being on a radio show or this thing, but I'm comforted by being with good friends.
That's right.
Yay.
And so to just give you kind of a 3-minute elevator pitch, I'm taking liberties with that 3-minute elevator pitch because normally it's 30 seconds and that's too long. I'm a seasoned citizen, and I met Dana and Foster at my first time in my life when I became unexpectedly unemployed. And I was 50 years old. That was 12 years ago. And I was lost. Because prior to that, I thought people that were unemployed, including my family members, were lazy. I mean, I'm serious. My sister, who's older than me, was in HR, and she had many seasons of unemployment. And I would tell her, you're just lazy. You get out there and network and find you a job. You don't have to lay here on the couch in your depression. And God really worked on my heart and said, listen, everybody that's not employed is not lazy. And it took him 3 years to teach me that lesson. And
really? It took 3 years, huh?
You think unemployed at 50 years old with 4 kids at home and one going off to college, the oldest one going off to college, won't test you and stress you. You just hadn't been there yet.
That's right.
So that was a very, very difficult time in my life. But God was very good in connecting me with people like Foster and Dana that saved my life.
Wow. Dana, we got a big endorsement there. Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, shoot, Steve, you and Foster saved my life back. It's a mutual thing. God puts us together. And Steve and I have been saying this. And in the same week, Foster said the same thing. It's all about divine appointment. And we have to trust that God's going to put the right people in our lives at the right time. And we are
doing that too, guys.
Each other. We'll be family for life.
Yeah. So Foster asked I tell you a little bit about where I am today. I'm at Paranet Solutions. We're an IT MSP, managed service provider. So we provide IT services for companies across the country. Let's see, and a managed service security provider. So we provide security services for those companies as well, particularly a lot in the health care space, but not exclusively. We really work with anybody. The reason I'm on this show in this segment is always be looking.
Yeah.
As a recruiter, you'll always be recruiting, but as a job seeker, you always be seeking.
Yeah.
Because if you get comfortable in your job, that's not a good place to be in America today.
It is not.
Now, hopefully you're happily married in a relationship. That's a good place to be comfortable for the rest of your life. Don't always be looking if you're in their situation. So be happy there where God put you. But in your job, be looking to add value for your current employer while you're building your skills for what might be a better opportunity. Like Loretta said, you might take a job now, but you're always looking for where God might have you. And that's where this story leads. I came to Paranet as a technician working, and this is where networking is going to come up, working for a guy I've known for 30 years, the CEO of this company. We've worked together 4 different times. Neither of us can figure out why.
Isn't that great, though?
Yeah. Every time he would call me in the past 20 years, it's like, Steve, you ready to come to work? And I'd say, nope, not today, not the time. And then one day I was needing a job, and I said, Jim, you need somebody? And he said, come on down. and that's God's timing, because there's times in his career where he wouldn't have any openings, but he had an open engineer, a technician. So I joined ParaNet in September, and as an engineer.
I agree with Mesmer. It sounds like a relationship to me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Maintain those relationships. And as Foster and everybody already said on LinkedIn, if you aren't linked in with previous workers, co-workers, people that know, love, and trust you is who you're linking in with. And anyone that you can get to accept your LinkedIn thing is golden. It's absolutely golden. And so came in as a technician, but being a seasoned citizen, I don't have a Google brain anymore. These kids can run circle around me on the help desk. And so I just wasn't liking it all. So I moved into a technical account manager role, and that wasn't working. I've always wanted to be a recruiter, but wasn't brave enough, and nobody would hire me. And to just go apply. And I did apply a couple of times and was rudely rejected.
Oh, yeah.
In that 2010, 2012 timeframe, I applied and talked to a couple of recruiters, and they looked at my resume and said, "You're not a recruiter, son.
Yeah, you don't have exactly.
Yeah, you're not what we're looking for."
Their mistake.
So in December, I just told Jim listen, I wasn't a good technician. I wasn't a good account manager. Let me do recruiting. And he just shrugged his shoulders and said, okay, why not? What could it hurt at this point? Well, from December to the end of January, we brought in about full-time employees to the company. And in the recruiters I've spoke with, 6 weeks to recruit 8 people is unheard of for someone that's not a skilled and gifted.
Yeah, especially with someone with,
you are a skilled and gifted recruiter as well.
Yeah. So the story is, let me look at my notes to see where I'm my 30-second commercial. It's really about following God's direction for your life. One of the things Loretta was referring to there is how you're wired. Know thyself.
Yeah.
And to thyself be true. So once you figure out using Strength Finders, which was my favorite tool because it was English, it was cheap, and I could read the results. I didn't have to go to a certified expert.
Didn't have to go to an expert. Yeah, that's right.
$50, and it's the best $50 I ever spent. And I know better now about myself from the Strength Finders.
You get, I think it's 43 strengths. Is it 43, Steve, that it gives you?
Yeah, but here's the thing I learned about that recently. I only took the top 5 and ran with it. I was talking to someone recently, and they said top 5 is important, but the bottom 5 is more important.
Yep.
Because that's who you need to surround yourself with, is the stuff you are no good at.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's a golden nugget right there.
That's a golden nugget.
It is a golden nugget.
Yeah, because I thought.
Platinum nugget.
Yeah, I thought I'm just this. I don't need all that. I'm not good at it. I'm not going to pay any attention. But in the workforce and in getting a new job, you need to find those skills that you're no good at.
Yeah, Dana and I had Brandy Shade on the show a few weeks back, and she is an expert at putting this strength thing together. And she goes into companies and she builds teams and all sorts of things behind strengths, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, in chatting with Foster last week is just seeking God's direction. Do I stay as a corporate recruiter here at ParaNet, which we're a 50-person company? We're going to hire 2 to 10 people a year. Do they need a full-time recruiter, and are they going to pay to keep me around? And am I going to be adding significant value in my role? I do not want to be here if I'm not adding value or where God wants me. So very actively pursuing what God's next step might be for me.
Yes.
Number one, and this is another thing, always have your options. So number one is staying here and taking expanded HR role, doing some of the HR generalist job, which I found is a real job.
It definitely is.
Yeah, I don't know if I want it or not. So I'm going to need some wisdom and counsel to say, Steve, don't do that, because I absolutely love recruiting. I know it's a personality disorder, but I love recruiting.
You hear that, Dana?
It's like I'm not even
personality disorder. I love recruiting too.
I feel like I feel guilty if they're going to pay me to be a recruiter. I'm like, really? Just talking to people and putting them together with companies that need people, and you're going to pay me a 25% fee of first year salary? Is that real true?
That is not a natural talent for everybody, though, Steve.
Yeah.
So it means it's a God-given gift. So I get it. It feels kind of like cheating, but that's the gift God gave those of us that, love recruiting. I'm the same way as you. I love it. I think like it. I meet people in public, like just events and things. And in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, that person could be good here. And I don't mean to, it just happens. And that's the same way you are. It's the same way Foster is.
So and you job seekers out there, think about it. And I'm not saying change your mind and go run in a different direction. It's not for everybody, guys, but consider it. Think about it. There's a person that supports this network more than anybody that I know called Mezmez. Meg Rose Caterio, and she's with us now. And I think she would make a wonderful recruiter, but that's not her direction that she wants to go in. I can understand that. But I think Foster thinks that she'd make a good recruiter because of the way she engages herself with people. And she is an engineer. Steve, are you an engineer? Were you ever an engineer?
Yes.
I thought so. Tell us a little bit about that engineering. Tell us a little bit about that background before you became a recruiter.
Sure. So when I was between 8 and 10 years old, I wanted to be a mechanic.
Ooh.
And so in college here in Texas, in Commerce, Texas, I worked on cars, a Chevrolet dealership in Wolf City, Texas. And working on the cars in summer in Texas convinces you of a new career aspiration.
I can see that. I really can.
Because for me, it was about fidgeting with gadgets, making them work properly, cars in this case, and making people happy. I'm a people pleaser. And I quickly recalculated my brain. Where can I be a mechanic and make people happy inside of air conditioning?
Yeah.
And technology at that time, this was back before God created the PC, because everybody that's that old knows IBM could not have done it.
Oh, shoot.
I'm sorry. Is this being recorded? Is there anybody from IBM on here? I'm sorry if you're insulted, but God created the PC before I was in technology, and it was just a natural move to me to working with people in the office and getting that close with them and seeing the smile on their face when the technology worked properly. So I did that for 30 years at my own company and other companies as well, being an engineer, a technologist. And that's why I was hired here to be an engineer, to work on the help desk. And that is still actually my official title is some engineer or something or other, but it's not my giftedness. Well, it's my giftedness, and I've worked very hard at coaching myself. It's my giftedness. It's not my giftedness. Connecting people is my giftedness.
Yeah, it is your gift. It is.
My skill that I can earn a wage at is technology, fixing things, engineering. So it's important that you think that way, or get that clarity in your mind. My giftedness is connecting people. What people will currently pay me for is engineering, because that's what's on my resume. And to make the story even shorter and a little more impactful, I have applied to recruiting firms in the last 2 weeks. I have not heard diddly squat.
Continue to do so, Steve. There's somebody out there that's going to understand. And we have every corner. You turn every corner now. We say this in Dallas. There's a church on every corner. Well, right now there's a recruiting job on every corner. And there's somebody out there, Steve, hopefully that will listening to this show right now that will pick up on what Dana and Foster are saying about Steve Ackley. Guys, I've known Steve Ackley a long time. There's a reason that I brought Steve on the show, especially on this segment of the show we call Job Seeker Spotlight. And, I want to ask you guys that are listening on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Make sure and subscribe to our channel. We are here every Friday at 11 o'clock. And we have wonderful people that Dana and I choose. Dana and I vetted these people out that we bring on the show. We vet them out for a reason, guys. These are the best people. You guys should be listening to what Steve is saying. Call Steve, have a conversation with him. If you have a recruiting need, talk to Steve about Steve. Talk to him about his experiences he has. I don't know anybody that's hired those many people without any recruiting experience, honestly. Well, that happened for a reason. So you guys dig into Steve's brain a little bit. He'll share with you.
He sure will. And I can definitely endorse Steve. I've known him for a long time, and I've always, in my spirit, wondered why he wasn't recruiting, because it's so natural for him. And any organization that hires Steve will have one of the best recruiters on this planet who knows people, gets things done, executes as a team player, and honestly, excellent work ethic. So anybody that wants a solid recruiter that is passionate about what they do and can actually deliver results, don't mess around. Hire Steve.
Don't mess around.
And that's my direction and order. Do not mess around. Hire Steve.
Well, my response is number one, it's gratitude. I'm very, very grateful for your kind comments. And the other response is, in God's perfect timing,
yes,
the perfect solution will appear.
Amen to that. 100%
My whole
true.
career has been that way.
Yeah. So true. Mine too.
Yeah, Dana, yours has been as well. I saw the spirit that was in Dana a long time ago, and I went chasing her. She didn't know I was chasing her. She's like, who's this old dude chasing me around everywhere? And finally, we got her, and we put her in the network, and a lot of people appreciate Dana because she serves us. But you know what?
To God be the
Steve has
glory.
served as well. Steve has been in the network a while. Steve serves. Steve's got that giving heart. And you know what, guys? In this world, we're focusing on all of the dynamics of the resume and all that stuff. But you know what? You guys don't hire people you don't like.
That's right.
Hey, talk to Steve. See if you like him. Give him a chance.
People hire people they like, period.
I like it. Look at that. Look at that smile. Look at that smile right there.
Yep.
Dana has done a wonderful job, and everybody likes Dana because Dana's got a giving heart, and Dana has not lacked people chasing her for a job. Steve will be the same. Steve has that experience recruiting now with ParaNet, guys. So I wonder why ParaNet gave Steve the opportunity to perform in that function. So, Steve, where do you live, Steve? What part of the Metroplex do you live?
I live in Garland.
Oh, yeah. So you have access to most of the North Dallas stuff over there. And there are tons of things going on in North Dallas.
Yeah, you're conveniently located, Steve. That's great.
Companies can, oh my goodness, I'm getting crossed up again. Connect on LinkedIn with Steve Ackley, guys. And that Ackley is Ackley. Ackley, not Ackoy, but
Ackley. Go Steve.
That's right. In fact, those of you that are watching, Steve's LinkedIn information is right there in the chat. And Steve, we stay with ParaNet right there until that opportunity comes along. I think that's what God's going to take care of you right there where you sit until that next opportunity, that next door opens up. Tell us, Steve, have you always been interested or saw your future in recruiting or even thought about it?
What I was doing is I would place people for free. I was a connector.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would say, man, you're looking for somebody? I know somebody. And I'd make the introduction. I never occurred to me I could actually get paid for it.
Yeah.
It's all about who you know, huh?
Yep. And now I know the Jobfather.
Oh, man. You're in big trouble now. Guys, that's what I do. I am what I like to call a net weaver. If you tell me something, I know somebody you ought to talk to.
Net weaver.
Dana and I operate through relationships, guys. We're not going to endorse that you throw names around on LinkedIn. because you may be linked to somebody, but if you don't have a significant relationship with that person, you may suggest something to that person, and they're like, well, I'm connected to Foster, but I don't know Foster. That's wonderful. They call him the job father. There ain't nothing special in my house, you know? And we recruiters do just that. Those of us that care, we share with each other. And that's what this network is all about. Steve has been an integral part of this network for a long time. And so Steve knows how it goes from that end of the spectrum. And now he's a recruiter, guys. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, Steve's been recruiting for many, many, many years.
He actually has. When you think about it, yeah, there are a number of us that have been recruiting a number of years, just didn't get a paycheck for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hired as a recruiter, and I was doing as much of what I'm doing right now when I had a paid job through a corporation.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like we talked about earlier, some people just have it in their blood. It's natural, and there's a passion for it, which is really important.
Yeah, I remember a short story. I'll just interject here. When I was working in church, there was a young couple, and they were going through seminary to be evangelism and outreach ministers, and wanted to join the greeting committee. And they were asked if they could join the greeting committee. And I said, well, how much greeting you been doing? Well, none. We haven't got our degree yet. I said, I'm concerned that you're going to be very good at greeting and outreach if you got to have a degree to do that, because
yeah, exactly.
People that are good at outreach and greeting have already been doing it, and people are trying to tell them to slow down and stop because they're doing it so much. So it's what's in you that comes out.
It is. That is a wonderful story, and truth be told.
Well, that is the truth. You know, what is inside comes out. It can't come out if it's not in there, can it?
No.
No, yeah.
Absolutely. And I find it interesting that your involvement in what you do, Steve, it doesn't surprise me at all, but it ended up in you getting an opportunity to help others through the craft of recruiting, networking. It goes hand in hand. A lot of recruiters, you guys out there that are listening, you should get involved personally with the networks like Dana did. There are a number of people that Dana meet and she can vet out. And then you know what? A little bit later, all of a sudden, a position pops up. And you know what? Dana knows somebody personally that she can endorse. And I wonder how that happened. Wow. So that's been half my life. So that's why I do what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a good one, Foster. So true. So true. So Steve.
Well, there's so many stories that we go through and so many things that we don't think about because corporate America teaches us to be very myopic. Oh, I used
big word of the day, myopic. Woo!
Wow.
Reading his dictionary before he comes on the show.
Guys, we don't need to be myopic. We need to be people. We need to be what God made us. And Steve has been a recruiter for a long time, and he just didn't get paid for it. But you know what? He gets paid for it now, and he's very good at it. He has had some wonderful, wonderful wins in that space. So we wanted to bring Steve on the show so you guys get an opportunity to see him. Steve, what's the best way to contact you?
You just took the words out of my mouth.
LinkedIn, way to contact me.
Steve Ackley, Ackley, folks.
That's right. Oh, I hear music. So we'll see you guys next Friday.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Foster.
Yes, guys, you YouTube people, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, please do. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Accelerated Graphics and Science 101 East Rim Road, Sweet San Burleson, Texas.